Welcome back, and those of you who are tuning into this after witnessing the game, final score, Grey Knights 90 to a DeathWatch 75. Grey Knights victorious. That was a
Congratulations on beating the worst army in the game with the best army in the game, DJ. You should be very proud of yourself.
I wasn't playing Necrons. Heyo.
I think Grey Knights are, I don't know. I don't know if they, I think Auspex can put them Grey Knights at top. Necrons.
I think that couple. There's not as many players playing them, so they have that meta wash thing. But Grey Knights are super, super strong, as any witness into this game. I mean, you had a huge lead early.
Yeah, I was definitely outscoring on primaries and secondaries early on. But yeah, I just wasn't able to keep up. The Nemesis Dread Knights are ridiculous.
And then to finish with in the end to finish with 90. I mean, I had one turn early on where I scored 0 on primary. Mm-hmm. But it was patience. I knew that I needed to, because you hit me so hard early, I had to clear out those resources. I had to get the Stern Guard off the field. And initially, I was scared. Initially, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to pick these guys up, as I left the one in the corner, had to charge them, had to leave my objective. Wasn't able to clear all the Stern Guard in the middle. Picked up the one with the purifiers. Okay. Wasn't able to get onto the other ones. Wasn't able to push through with the charges. Terminators were getting beaten up. I was getting a little concerned. And then when I smacked the drop pod, the one turn, I didn't even hurt it. I'm like, oh, well, this is going to tie me up for a bit. And then if the dice went back to probably normal for the Terminators, which picked it up. Centurions was a very tough, very, very tough time there. A lot of very technical movements on which one I was going to move off of combat first, because I didn't want to risk that Overwatch. If I screwed that up at any point, those Centurions could have overwatched my damaged Dread Knight, and that would have been it.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't get rerolls unless you were on the objective. So
you had me oathed. You had me oathed. That one oathed. So you probably would have had that.
Yeah, but I think I only had a couple left by the time it was a tough call. You got 4 up impulse, so all you have to do is roll those, which we've seen in this game. Yeah. If you don't roll them, it doesn't go well for you. If you do, it goes very well.
On top of the fact of having the ability to fall back and advance and still shoot and charge.
Yeah,
huge. This game, that was the bread and butter of the Dread Knights, is being able to bounce around, fall off of stuff, shoot, move, just move for days.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to play by Warhammer 40K rules.
Yeah.
I mean, and if a unit had any one of those, that's a strong thing. Like if you have the ability to advance and charge, that's strong. If you have the ability to advance and shoot, that's strong. If you can fall back and charge, that's strong. If you can fall back and shoot, that's strong. If you can do all 4 of those things, I don't.
Backed
and
up
also, by the way, you auto advance 6.
So, yeah, auto advance 6
and
too.
Fly, yeah. and you can teleport, and you're really good at shooting and really good at fighting. So.
And a vehicle that can tank shock.
Yeah.
With a strength 14 hammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
but no feel, no pain.
Oh, yeah, poor... Shut up.
I'll just take one more step over here just for safety.
No feel,
I think we're out of arm's reach. Okay, we're good here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like Grey Knights, there needs to be some kind of adjustments. I know they were struggling a bit before, and then they gave them the extra damage, the ability, the better AP on the cannons on the Nemesis Dread Knights, but they're extremely durable, they're extremely mobile, and they're... For an army that has those skills, I don't think you should be able to table armies. You know,
I think it's going to be a point increase on the Dread Knights and call it a day. Both variations, the Grandmaster and the regular. I think they're just going to go up in points, and that's going to probably call it a day on it. Because like with my list is very carved into that. So if you put 10 more points on the Dread Knights, that's an extra 50 points in my list. So that's definitely
no, you don't take the Tech Marines.
But in that sense, though, with that not taking that Tech Marine, look at how important that Tech Marine was in this game.
Yeah,
he healed, he held that objective, he beat the poop out of the Stern Guard. Like he pretty much took most of that unit down.
That many attacks, they're all AP 2 damage. So yeah, he was a beast in combat. Oh, especially into that profile, the Stern Guard.
Right. And I went with the hazardous roll on the plasma cutter fork, so it's just like, well, I guess I'll take damage, and he was safe there. That's the orc in me going hazardous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's wrap this up talking about that early. You went early. You went for it turn 1.
Yeah, it was probably a mistake because I didn't finish off the one Dread Knight. Just because I could only put 1 squad into him. As we saw, it can be swingy when you do the DeathWatch, tell them of Ectoclade's turn and go on for those devastating wounds. Because this squad over here didn't fail to pick up one, but then in this case, I had 2 squads going into one Nemesis Dread Knight, and the first one that shot picked him up.
Yeah.
So if I could throw the dice around a little bit and say, "Oh, this guy picks him up," it would have helped a lot.
Definitely. Definitely, because otherwise, that was one thing I was waiting for with the Sigil, was when if he went down, the Sigil Dread Knights come over there, because I couldn't lose home field like that, and I knew my Tech Marine wasn't going to pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
But not losing that Dread Knight and still having them there and being able to land the charge of the drop pod, landing a 9, that's nice. When you start sticking 9-inch charges across the board, that's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
That turn when I dropped in the middle, sticking that charge to be able to grab the center, that scored a bunch of points right there. 1 for overwhelming force, and 2 that took points away from you. So that was critical right there to land that charge. Escapable Wrath, so good. That +1's so nice. Didn't need it on that, but that +1's still so nice. So in conclusion, I know that Lane is so happy right now, because next week, Lane, for the first time ever.
No, not for the first time ever.
I had to double check.
The first time in the last 3 editions. I think it was, I had Grey Knights back in 7th edition.
For the first time in 10th, and definitely the first time on the channel. I can confirm that. Lane is playing Grey Knights into Necrons for the championship.
Yeah, I don't know why you're so excited about this, because I'm going to beat you with your dirty, stinking Grey Knights. So I'll be playing Grey Knights next week for the championship. I don't know what I get if I win. I don't think I get anything. I think you still win either way, because it's your darn list. But I'll be playing some Grey Knights.
Either way, though, what you do get out of this, in this situation, since Votan, the semifinalist, Votan and DeathWatch, you get to choose. And after, because this will be the end of the first cards that we're doing. So next week's game will still be the old deck of cards that we've been playing. After that, we're going to be switching over to the new. Yeah, the Leviathan. Now, then we'll be going into Pariah Nexus.
Yep.
So whichever army you choose will have an automatic title shot at the winning army with the new cards.
All right. I won't make that decision until we see what changes.
Exactly.
Here.
So when you're
getting
got
balanced data slate, points updates, new mission cards, it's all.
So that's going to give you a little bit of a leg up, because number 1, you're going to know what faction you're going into, and number 2, you get to pick one of your 2 factions you wish to use. But it must be either Votan or DeathWatch, because of the semifinals, and it'll be going into Necrons or Grey Knights, depending on which one of my army lists win. That's the only time I'll say it. That's the only time I'll be it.
Oh no, he's not. He's going to be insufferable.
I'll try not to. Okay, I'll try to keep it under 10. We'll keep it there.
Okay.
But but now back into the non-joking side, how do you feel about playing Grey Knights? How do you feel like with how much you've played against them, piloting that Grey Knight list?
No, it'll be fine. I mean, it's similar to DeathWatch in that it gets angles on things and shoot things. You can just pick 3 things up every turn. So, and we played against them enough, and your list has stayed relatively consistent. So I don't have any problem playing them. It shouldn't be a problem. You don't have that many data sheets, so it's not like I need to know 12 different data sheets. Nemesis Dread Knights, Grandmaster Dread Knights, the Purifiers, and the Terminators.
Yeah, that's it.
A few characters, but yeah.
Yep. And I memorized the army 4 times over, so we're good there too. So, all right. Well, I think that about wraps it up. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.